Welcome back, boys and girls, to another exciting TheKillerNacho Wi-Fi battle, and this is the rematch between IVpips. As I mentioned last time, we fought in the winners bracket, and this is to the tournament that was going on in my Pokemon Go Discord. See the previous video for more information, or the video description. But this is the rematch, and I won the winners bracket and knocked him down to the losers bracket, but he defeated Chima at the top of the losers bracket. So now we have to rematch, and I just have to beat him once. He has to beat me twice. I'm hoping not for it not to come to that, but his team is very, very strong, including packing a Mega Venusaur, which my team doesn't really deal with. In the first match, I kind of surprised him with my Kommo-O against his Blissey, which won't happen again because my Kommo-O is just special, and it's going to be rough right from the start. So last time he decided to lead with Skarmory. I do remember that, so I'm actually going to try to lead with my Kommo-O, kind of maybe as an intimidation factor as well, because I did have that mini rampage with my Kommo-O in the first matchup, so just wanted to get him out nice and early, just so he remembers it. But he's going to go ahead and surprise me with Blissey, which isn't a good matchup for me because he knows now what I am, and I am a special sweeper with the Kommonium-Z. I decided just to go for a Focus Blast to see how much it would do. I'm hoping that even with my modest nature, even without it +1, it would be a solid 2-hit KO. He's going to go ahead and take that opportunity to Toxic my Kommo-O, which is a good play because it's really going to limit how much I'm going to be able to do with that Kommo-O, but I can still do something with it. So I decided to go out into my Skarmory, or Skarmory, or whatever you want to call it. And he's just going to go for a Seismic Toss, I guess, to get damage. It doesn't really bother my Skarmory that much. And I'm just going to go ahead and set up my Stealth Rocks, hoping he doesn't predict this and go out into Espeon. Instead, he goes out into his Arcanine, which is fine. That's going to have, obviously, super effective damage against my Skarm. So, yeah, that's probably the reason he does that. So, going to go ahead and switch out. I do not want to lose my Skarm quite yet. We kind of obliterated this Arcanine in the first battle, so I'm not entirely sure what its set is, but I do know that it doesn't carry Extreme Speed, I don't think, because it didn't use it in the first battle, or it just didn't want to. But he ends up just going for a Will-O-Wisp, and I don't think I was even predicting that. And I just go into my Araquanid, and Water Bubble is going to protect me. Unfortunately, he does carry Wild Charge, and it's going to do a lot of damage. But I do get a Sticky Web up, so that's pretty cool. I got both of my hazards up, despite him carrying Magic Bounce, Espeon. I was a little bold there in these battles, and I was just kind of hoping he wouldn't go in that Espeon, and indeed he does not. I guess he thought I would just go for a Water move. Anyway, I do not want to lose my Araquanid, so I'm just going to go into my Porygon 2 and obviously take his Flash Fire ability, which is going to make me immune to fire. He does carry Close Combat, though, which is something I was really not hoping for. I do take one of them, and unfortunately, even after the defense drops, I'm still not able to take it out, and I don't want to get 2-hit KO'd, and it does look like it might be a 2-hit KO. So yeah, this Arcanine, which I actually just kind of destroyed in the first battle without much problem, is actually going and is doing some serious work against me here in the second battle. So he's going to go for a close combat again. I just go into my Araquanid because I know that I really have nothing to take that, and I need to sack something, and Araquanid's nearly dead. So going to go out into my Manectric, and this thing can Mega Evolve, and I will. He's going to be very wise here, going down to his Blissey, which will pretty much completely shut down my Manectric. There's really not a whole lot I can do to it, so I know that he was probably going to go out into Bliss, so I decided just to go for a Volt Switch. Unfortunately, yeah, my physical hitters are kind of limited here. My Araquanid went down already. I do have my Scarf Decidueye, and I also have this Kommo-O, which obviously is not a physical hitter, but yeah, is can do serious damage with Focus Blast. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think no, I popped my Z move off here, and this is a mistake because he's probably just gonna go for the Soft Boiled or something. Or just try to get Seismic Toss damage. And this is not going to kill the Blissey no matter what. The best I can hope for is a 2-hit KO using Focus Blast. And I don't think this wasn't a good play. I should have just went for a Focus Blast and then maybe try to finish it off with my Z move if I wanted to set it up. But at this point, I'm Toxic Poisoned. Even after taking a little bit of damage with Seismic Toss, I'm going to leave myself vulnerable to his Weavile, which is something that I was able to do is keep Kommo-O healthy enough in the first battle. But unfortunately, this Seismic Toss is going to leave me in a kind of a precarious situation. I didn't do it really enough damage with my Z move that I would have liked. I'm just going to go for a Focus Blast, hoping to kill this this Blissey. But he's going to go ahead and retreat, and he goes into his Arcanine, which is a good play because that is just going to die to Stealth Rock. So he's basically sacking it off here, which will give him actually a free switch in a Weavile. So. And we saw from the first battle how much Ice Shard was able to do to me, and yeah, that's just going to be able to do it again because, well, I decided to switch out, actually. I decided to save Kommo-O. I think, trying to keep it around because I think it can still have its uses. A Focus Blast would still do a decent damage to Blissey. Not to mention it has some other good moves. I know he's just going to go for the Ice Shard. There's no reason for me to really lose it when I could just go into my Skarmory and take that Ice Shard. But early, right off the bat, it's definitely advantage him. Was not able to get off that Kommo-O Rampage like he did last time. He hasn't even gone into Mega Venusaur yet, and I'm in some serious trouble. He's going to go into his own Skarm, which is a good play because I was just going for a Brave Bird. And yeah, he knows that I can't really do anything to him, and this is going to be his opportunity to set up his own layer of Stealth Rocks if he so chooses, and he almost certainly will, knowing that they are going to help and, obviously give me some kind of penalty to switch. I go into my Kommo-O because I do have Flamethrower, and I hope that he remembers that I have Flamethrower as well. And I was hoping here that he would predict Flamethrower, I believe. He does indeed go for a Stealth Rocks. My Kommo-O is going to go down to minimal HP, down to 28, and I go for a Focus Blast, thinking that he might go into Blissey, predicting Flamethrower, but then I miss again with Focus Blast. So there's a reason that it gets called Focus Miss. I got lucky in the first battle, not missing with the one time I went for it, I think. But this battle, I obviously did try to go for the Focus Blast twice. The first turn against the Blissey, it missed, and then it missed here against the Skarmory, and that would have almost been a certain kill. Skarmory's special defenses aren't great. I just go for a Flamethrower this turn. I don't want to overpredict. I just want to get, damage on this Skarmory. He's going to continue to Roost, which is a wise play. I do get the burn, so at least there's something going for me. So this Skarmory is going to not be able to do any damage now. I'm going to go into my Manectric because I know it's going to force a switch. He's almost certainly going to go right back into his Blissey. And, yeah, that's not good because I can't really do anything to this Blissey. It still have some physical hitters, and I'm hoping that... Oh, I go for a Thunderbolt. That was a dumb play. Should have just went for a Volt Switch into my Decidueye, but I was kind of hoping with Mega Manetric's amazing special attack stat, a Stab Thunderbolt might be able to KO Blissey because Blissey would take in Stealth Rock damage, and I knew that it was at pretty low HP, but unfortunately that's just what happens when you try to take down... Not every Pokemon can be a Kommo-O and be able to take down Blisseys with a special move. So that was stupid. I should have just Volt Switched into a physical Pokemon, but instead I didn't. So I'm just going to go into my Porygon 2 now, and I'm going to obviously trace his Natural Cure. The reason I do this is because I just want this Blissey to be forced to switch out. So I was going to, Toxic it, but it has Heal Bell. So I can't even Toxic Poison it and force him to switch out eventually, because he can just Heal Bell it away, which isn't good. I did not know this thing carried, the Cleric Heal Bell move. So that's not great. And he's just going to go for the Seismic Toss against my Porygon 2. I don't know why I didn't just Toxic me. I mean, obviously, I feel comfortable here. I know that the Blissey does carry Toxic, but I feel comfortable because I did trace his Natural Cure, so I know that I can get rid of it just by switching out. And here we both wise up, realizing we both have, reliable recovery moves. Let's go for the Toxic all around. Unfortunately, he can just Heal Bell it away if he wanted to, or just switch out. I have to switch out to get rid of it, and I decide, I believe, to... try to recover one turn first and then switch out because I wanted to retain my HP on Porygon 2 a little more. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and Seismic Toss my Porygon 2 again. And yeah, this is about as healthy I'm going to be able to keep my Porygon 2 because obviously the poison damage is going to rack up more and more from here. And I'm just going to go ahead and switch out because there's really nothing I can do. I think I go into Decidueye in case you wanted to go for another Seismic Toss. And not to mention, this is a physical Pokemon, so I hope that I can hit this Blissey a little bit hard with Leaf Blade. The one bit of unfortunateness here is it would cost me the Toxic on Decidueye. There's no way Decidueye can, one-shot this thing, even though I am bringing an Adamant one. But he's just going to be smart and just go out into his Skarmory, which I did predict. I went for the U-turn instead of just going for damage, because I did think he would try to switch out, because it was just easier than going for a Heal Bell, obviously, and yeah, he's just going to go into Skarmory. That does allow me to go back into my Manectric. Unfortunately, obviously, he can just go right back into Blissey now. He has me pretty well locked down and contained in this match. His defensive core is very strong. His offensive core is very strong, but his defensive core especially is very strong with the SkarmBliss and the Mega Venusaur, and it's looking like it's going to be hard to push through, but I'm going to keep going at it because if there's one thing I know I can do is I can maybe wear down his team a little bit. So I'm going to go and Volt Switch into my Decidueye. This is the matchup I want. Obviously, he can go right back into Skarm. We both have Hazard set up, so each of us are going to get withered down a little bit on each switch. This time I decide to go for the Leaf Blade thinking that he might try to stay in and Toxic me, and end up getting the Leaf Blade damage of the Blissey, which is pretty darn good, and it looks like I can 2-hit KO it from this range, which is excellent, and I think I have it a little weaker than I did before, so maybe after Stealth Rock, Mega Venusaur can even take it out, which is actually pretty huge. Now, he is going to go into his Venusaur for the first time here. It's the first time we've seen it in this match. I believe I just go for a Leaf Blade. Again, I am Scarf, so I have to if I stayed in. I just didn't want him to give... I didn't want to give any opportunity for that Blissey to maybe, predict my switch and get the soft build up. I knew that he would probably switch, though, so... anyway, in comes the Mega Venusaur. I go out into my Porygon 2, Trace Overgrow pointlessly, as he's just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve now into his, obviously Mega Venusaur. And, yeah, this thing was a menace in my first match. You might recall that I had that, in my first match, we had that Rampage with Kommo-O in the beginning. Then I had a hard time getting around this Venusaur for the rest of the match. And now he still has his Blissey. The other, and his Arcanine, and, which are Pokemon that I was, no, he didn't, I think I killed Arcanine, did I? No, I think I did kill his Arcanine already, but, we didn't have that early advantage that we did in the first match, so it's going to be even harder to get around this Mega Venusaur. So, in comes his Weavile, sorry, not his Weavile, his, Skarmory. I don't know why I said Weavile. That would make no sense. He's obviously going to predict my, Brave Bird, and he's not even burned anymore because of his, his Heal Bell with his Blissey, so there's not even that residual damage. Not that it's a whole lot. I mean, it just basically negates his leftovers, but I have absolutely no advantage here. It basically probably a mirror set, even. Probably the exact same Skarm. So no one wants to see that. Hopefully, if nothing else happens, it won't end up with a Skarm versus Skarm ending. Either way, he's going to go ahead and roost as I go into my Mega Venusaur again. And, yeah, that's pretty much advantage him. He knew that he had that free roost, and he's just trying to keep his Skarm healthy, which is a good move. He knows that I can actually kill him with Mega Venusaur at this range, even with Volt Switch from the first battle, so he's probably just going to switch out, and he does go out into his, Mega Venusaur as I just Volt Switch. And I really don't have anything to go into against this guy. That's the sad part about it, is I have nothing for this. As I said in the first battle, the only super effective move, factoring in, Thick Fat, because Thick Fat negates its weakness to ice and fire, is my Brave Bird of mine, Skarmory. And unfortunately, he has Hidden Power Fire on this Venusaur, so it is the traditional Hidden Power Fire Venusaur set, and it completely just shuts down my team because my Skarmory can't even reliably kill it, and it's the only way I have to super affect it, and it just has really good defenses in general, and it's just going to be a huge problem. So in comes Weavile off my Whirlwind. The only thing he can really do is knock off my leftovers. This is not a particularly good matchup for him, because obviously Skarmory is like the, physical wall. It's basically like, a Blissey for physicals. So, he's not like he's going to be able to do that much damage, but he does get rid of my leftovers, which I suppose gives him some advantage. They're, limiting my residual damage. So at least there's that. And, yeah, in comes his Skarm again, and this is pretty much like, obviously a push. Neither of us have advantage here. I'm just going to Whirlwind him away. And I actually moved first this turn, so he's probably trying to Whirlwind me away at the same time. I guess I won the speed tie there, or I have a little bit more speed investment than him. I'm not entirely sure. But we both try to Whirlwind each other out. And I'm able to get the Whirlwind actually into the Weavile, which is actually what I thought I wanted at the time, because I can actually tank Weavile pretty well. And obviously that 25% damage is pretty nice. So, yeah, although he flinches me with the first Icicle Crash, and I'm like, he flinches me with the second Icicle Crash. Now, Icicle Crash does have a 30% chance to flinch, but having them 2 in a row, obviously, not a very good chance. I think it's, 3%? No, I guess 30% or 30%. Well, okay, that would be more like 10%. 10% chance to do that. And that was not good, because it forces my Skarm to switch out with bad HP, and I'm going to have a hard time trying to get a Roost off now. And I go into my Porygon 2, which is also a bit of a physical wall, and this thing is able to destroy my Porygon 2. So there you go. Weavile asserting itself as a wall breaker. Some unfortunate luck for me with the early missed Focus Blasts, and then again with the 2 flinches off Icicle Crash. Just not going my way in this match. The only thing I have to hope for is he made some kind of mistake with his EVs on his Weavile, and maybe that thing is going to get maybe the thing has even HP, which would help it, which means it won't be able to come back in if it has even. I have no idea if that's the case. Like I said, these players are a little green, but definitely very competitive as you've seen. It's really my only chance because if that Weavile comes back out, it can probably decimate me. I do get the opportunity to maybe roost here against the Mega Venusaur. Obviously, he does have Hidden Power Fire, but I'm like, you know what? I'm actually gaining a few hit points every roost. And I just wanted to get Skarmory back to full HP, and I'm like, well, this is probably not going to end well. Eventually, he's going to get a crit or something, and that'll just be the end of it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be stubborn here. I have so little advantage at this point. I need to get Skarm back to, a point that it can live a hit coming in. So that's what I'm thinking, and now I'm like, screw it. I'm eventually going to get crit. Eventually, I get as much HP as I can, and I think I just go for a Brave Bird, which is really a stupid thing to do. I should have probably just switched out once I was satisfied, but I think you just go for a Brave Bird because I wanted to get damage with this Mega Venusaur. At this point, I'm like, well, the only chance I have at this point is that Weavile has even hit points, so it can't come in and get off additional hits on my team, because that would be a huge problem. But I need to wither down this Mega Venusaur. That's like my only chance, and I don't even think Brave Bird is a 2-hit KO. Brave Bird, I think, is does about as much actually that his Hidden Power Fire does to me. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I do have a slight chance here, and it's gonna rely on that Weavile hopefully not being able to come back in. But I kind of see what I need to do in order to pull off the epic comeback, so just going to go for the Brave Bird, and I need to be able to damage his Mega Venusaur enough now that I can hopefully scare it away with Mega Manectric. Even though he's going to take down my Skarm, I have no idea why I even bothered to try to roost all those times, but I got this Mega Venusaur down to the point that it should be able to fear an Overheat, and we saw how much Overheat did in the first battle, and I think it's in that range. He's going to wisely switch out into his Blissey. However, Blissey is also going to be stuck at red HP, and I'm really hoping that it'll die here to the Overheat, and it does, which is fantastic after the Stealth Rock. And yeah, he's confident, though, after my -2 attack, special attack, his Venusaur should be able to come back in. My only hope is that he's wrong, and I can take this out with the Overheat. Mind you, he does have Thick Fat, so this is technically not super effective, so I'm just going to go for it. It's neutral still, though. It's a very powerful attack. Even at -2 special attack, it's going to be able to take out the Venusaur, which I really needed. Unfortunately, he has his Espeon, which has not seen the battle yet, so it is pretty much unscathed and ready to go. I know that he still had this. I just have to Volt Switch out here. Obviously, he's going to go for the Shadow Ball, predicting my switch into Decidueye, because I kind of just need to do it. It's basically just me sacking Decidueye. I know he's going to go for the Shadow Ball here, and if he doesn't, even if he does go for the Psych, he's probably going to kill me at this point. But obviously, my only chance is Mega Manectric, so just going to go ahead and die now with Decidueye, and I'm going to go to Mega Manectric. My only chance here is to be able to kill it at nearly full health. I mean, it only took Stealth Rock and a Volt Switch with a Thunderbolt. So I need to be able to kill here, and his last Pokemon will be Weavile. Unfortunately, it gets off with a little sliver of health. It was that close. I mean, I guess it was that close, plus if that Weavile was indeed EV'd incorrectly to have even hit points at level 50. But it was still my outside chance. Even if he did get into Weavile, he would have won anyway, because Ice Shard would have probably killed me at that point. But even though I lost, I actually come out of this battle with a little bit more confidence against his team, because everything that really went wrong in this battle kind of did for me. I was not able, and I played really poorly with Kommo-O in the beginning, not to mention missing the 2 Focus Blasts, his flinches, and I'm like, you know what? I still nearly came back and won that thing. So it's going to come down to one last battle. I know, these same teams, and it gets considered an epic trilogy. It's just very interesting teams clashing at it here. He has a very good defensive core that I can't quite break with my offensive Pokemon, but it's going to come down to one last battle. I'm a little more confident now after this one, even though I lost. I learned some things about his team, so I hope that you guys will stay tuned, because later this week I will post the conclusion to this tournament once again against IVpips. So now that we are past Christmas, or Merry Christmas, everyone, if I decide to post this on Christmas, leave a comment about what your favorite Christmas gift was and from whom. I would answer this, but I'm actually pre-narrating this battle. because obviously I'm spending time with friends and family. I will try to edit the video description with my answer to this question of the day. But yeah, I hope that you will stick by and watch the conclusion to this. I hope that you like this video and you'll rate, comment, subscribe, and yeah, just another epic battle there by IVpips, and looking forward to the last one. Merry Christmas, everyone, and see you guys again later. Bye.